If you want to learn how to make this beautiful Quran holder, then please keep on watching. First of all, we will need two mixtures of resin and gold foil. One will be with a lot of gold foil and a little resin, and the second will be with a lot of resin and a little bit of gold foil. Okay, so the small glass is with a lot of gold foil and little resin, and the big glass is the opposite. So I am just mixing these two resin mixtures properly with the gold foil. Please mix it thoroughly so that there are no large chunks of gold foil. Now I have taken some white mica powder and I am mixing it very thoroughly in my resin. Please make sure to scrape all the sides so there are no floating bits of mica powder. Now pour the resin with gold foil on the upper part of the mold. Pour very little resin. Make sure that you pour it very little. You don't want it to cover all the sides automatically. You will cover all the sides with the help of an ice cream stick. Because if you pour too much resin, then the rose petals will keep floating around and will not have enough space between them. Make sure that all the sides are evenly covered, and also make sure the gold foil is evenly spaced. But also make sure that you are not putting resin in the middle part of the mold, because there we will have the dense gold foil mixture. Now pour the resin with the white mica powder in the lower part of the mold. This will be a little more than the upper part, but still it will not cover all the corners automatically. Please don't pour too much, otherwise your pattern will be ruined. Cover all the corners with the help of an ice cream stick. Make sure to leave the middle space empty. Now I am taking the resin with the gold foil and just pouring it carefully in the middle part. Please be very careful in that step because we don't want that resin to spread all around. We just want it to be there in the middle part. Carefully spread it evenly using an ice cream stick. There will be more resin in the outer part and less in the inner part of the mold, because that will be the joint of this Rehal, the Quran holder. That will be the joint of this. So we are not putting too much foil in the inner part. We will just make a straight line. As you can see, there is an empty space. A circle has been formed because of the lack of resin in the white part. So I am just taking some more resin and just pouring it carefully in the empty space only. Now I feel that I have not added enough foil in the resin mixture, so I am just taking some gold foil with the help of tweezers and adding it in that part where it is needed. And then we will just mix it carefully with an ice cream stick. Just dabbing it into that resin mixture will help mix it properly. I am taking some more gold foil for the outer part and I'll also mix it. Please make sure that the gold foil is not mixed with your mica resin. I felt that there was not a clear demarcation of the white and the clear resin, so I just added some white resin into that boundary so that there is a clear mark. Now we are just adding rose petals into the upper part. Make sure they are evenly spaced and make sure that you are using only dried rose petals, because if you use fresh they will get rotten. Make sure your rose petals are whole and there is no discoloration or breakage in them. Now just take some resin from the base and pour it above the rose petals and cover them evenly. Make sure to also press them a little bit so that they stay inside and do not poke around that much. But we will need to do a top coat on this. The top coat will be a little thicker than the base coat, and also make sure that you are not using resin specifically made for top coat, because if you do that, then your Rehal will be a little softer and will not be able to hold the weight of the Quran. So the best resin for this project will be 1/3 ratio art resin. Okay, you can do the base with 1/2 ratio resin and the top coat with 1/3 resin. Now make sure to leave a gap of at least half an hour so that your resin is tacky and is not completely liquid, and then do this last step of making swirls in the white resin. Make sure you use a clean ice cream stick. Your Quran holder is now complete. Leave a gap of 12 hours and then